Hey, everybody. Hi, Cheryl. Sorry, guys, I'm a few minutes late. We were actually on a call with Google just now, and they have some new policies, which is actually going to be, I think, good news for people who are looking to advertise crypto. That seems to be something that we're going to be able to allow in the near future. So anyway, that's awesome. But I apologize for being a few minutes late. So what do you guys want to talk about? It's not like there's been any major updates recently. So why don't we just get to it? I guess by way of introduction, for those of you who did not attend yesterday's live or haven't seen the replay, we are moving to the VF Gem. V stands for virtual. So we are incredibly excited to have moved, completely towards virtual gems that will act as virtual billboards for you anywhere in the world. You can, for those of you that love, mobile proximity marketing, like people who would keep their their beacon on their keychain so that their advertising kind of follow them anywhere. You will be able to do that with the virtual gem. You can just tie your ads location to your smartphone. For those of you that prefer to, that would place your gem in specific locations, you're going to be able to do that as well. But you're going to be able to choose the location of your advertising without having to physically place a device in a location. So as simple as literally dropping a pin on a map anywhere in the world. You can move your pin around as much as you want. If you're, I don't know, like a restaurant owner with multiple locations, you can, have multiple virtual gems, drop pins around all of your locations. If you're a realtor that has, 5 active listings, imagine dropping, your pin, your virtual gem on each one of them to promote, the open house that's coming up this weekend to the people nearby. Virtual gems offer a huge number of benefits that we weren't able to achieve before. Everything from, no more shipping delays, no more shipping costs, to no more gems being lost, no battery issues, no Bluetooth. We don't have to rely on Bluetooth anymore. So now any device that with an internet connection can receive your ad, whether it's a desktop, a laptop, a tablet, an iPhone, an Android. So there's, and I would put this out to as a challenge to everybody. If you can think of even one advantage that a physical beacon has over the new virtual gems, please let me know, because I can't think of a single reason why the virtual gem isn't better in every single way. You do?
I do.
DePaul, you got one?
I do.
Tell me.
Doorstop.
Fair enough. All right. You win the prize. A physical beacon would make an excellent doorstop. You're right. All right. I stand corrected, everybody. I stand corrected. Maybe a nice Christmas ornament as well for your tree next year. Anyway, so what else do I want to share quickly? We said January 10th would the conversion from physical to virtual gems would be complete. We said that to be conservative. Already, we've released virtual gems on Android, so that app is available. Go get the update, and you will see that your physical gems now are in virtual form. The iPhone app, it's in review with Apple. That process takes 24, 48 hours. So the second we get the thumbs up from Apple, then we'll release that as well. So I think that I think that our date of January 10th is we're going to blow it away. I mean, I'm hoping that by the end of this week, everyone's got their virtual gems up and running. So let's get to the questions, because I'm sure there are many of those. Let's see here.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So there's somebody asking, you can run ads on Facebook. How does this compare?
Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't compare. Like, so look, in the world, there are about 1 billion small business owners. Many, if not most of them, are solopreneurs, realtors, insurance brokers, network marketers, personal trainers, etc. So out of the 1 billion small business owners in the world today, and verify this for yourself, there's about 5 million small business owners, or businesses, in fact, including large businesses total, that advertise on Facebook. So 5 million out of 1 billion is 0.5%. So what that means is 99.5% of small business owners aren't advertising on Facebook at all. So the reason why, it's not that it doesn't work, it's complicated, right? Like, just creating your account is complicated, and understanding the policies is complicated, and just setting up your ad on Facebook alone is actually pretty complicated. And that's the biggest reason why the vast majority of business owners haven't done it. But then if you want to actually achieve, kind of recreate the platform that we provide, you would also have to create another ad account on Google. You have to create another ad account on LinkedIn, and another one on Twitter if you want to be, if you want to kind of be on the, all of the apps and websites that we provide. So to do that, okay, now you're creating like 4 or 5 different accounts. You have to understand 4 or 5 different sets of policies. You'd have to create, a bunch of different ads. Anytime you want to make a change to an ad, you'd have to change it 5 times. Anytime you want to change your location, you have to change it 5 times. None of them, by the way, like zero, allow you to tie your phone's location to the app. That's just something that we've done, through the various APIs. And then, anyway, even if you did all that, you'd also have to know how to produce a professional ad. And I know that there are some people out there that can do it, but I can tell you, I've seen like thousands of the ads that have been submitted by our customers, and we're getting a lot of things that are not at a level that you would consider professional. So I think part of our value to the small business owner is helping to elevate, the language, making sure that, the images, looks good, and that the language makes sense, and that, a value proposition is conveyed. Because there's no one at Facebook that's going to advise you on what your ad should look like, or what it should say. And so that's part of the value that we provide. Even if you did all that, you'd still need a landing page to direct traffic to. Then you need a lead capture form. Then you need a place, like a lead management system. So all of that is included in what we provide. And, our new pricing, you get 5,000 impressions a month for $47. That's less than what it would cost you to go out and buy, those ads yourself. Like if you were to, as a small business owner, you go out to Facebook or to whatever, and you say, I want to buy 5,000 impressions. The cost is going to be $50 or more. So for less than what it would cost you to buy the ads yourself on Facebook, you get all those impressions, plus you get, all of the other advantages that I mentioned, and we're just getting started, right? Like We've talked about the lead magnet that we're going to add. We've talked about the retargeting that we're going to add, the content marketing that we're going to add. So this, what this is a platform that takes all of the, most proven marketing strategies that big companies have been using and makes them accessible and affordable to a small business owner. It's not about one thing, right? It's not like, oh, well, I could advertise on Facebook. Okay, sure. But what about the other 99 things that we enable you to do more affordably than just advertising on Facebook yourself? So, long answer, but that's my answer.
Justin, there's another question. This is from Jason. He said, can we actually put an address in as opposed to dragging a pin across the map?
Not yet. It's possible. I mean, we can think about adding that, but at the moment, it's a pin.
There's also, can we go over? Hold on, sorry, Michael. Can you go over how to pin a location or how to make it stay pinned?
You should be able to just tap on the map where you want it. And you can obviously, shrink and expand and contract the size of the map. And hey, what I'm thinking is that you have the ad tied to your location. So in the top right corner of the location section, if you can't change the location of the pin, that tells me that you've got it set to tie to your phone's location. So turn that off, right? Toggle that option off, and then you should be able to just click anywhere you want on the map and move the location.
Well, you know what? I did that, and it's still. I sent it to New Jersey. I found everything. I pinned it, and then it just went right. I saved it, and it went right back to my location. I'll try it again. Maybe I just
maybe click the submit button, because if you don't click that submit button, then it won't lock it in. Like if you just click OK,
oh,
that's not enough. Click submit.
Okay, here's another thing. When I to start off, I just wanted them all at my address.
Yep.
And I have 4. 2 of them say my address. And then when I hit the button to set the location, it shows my address again. And then when I want to go out to the next one, it says, do you want to save these changes?
Yeah.
And I say, yes. But every time I try to go out, it says, do you want to save these changes? It doesn't.
Okay.
I actually have to turn it off and go back into the app.
I'm gonna suggest that it's that submit button again.
Okay. I'll try that.
Try it.
Okay. Can I ask another question since I got you here?
Hey, you got the floor. Let's do it.
Okay. I have a chain of chicken wing companies, restaurants.
Yeah.
And each right now have 3 of the 1,000 meter beacons. Now, it's all in the same account. The mom has one for her store, the daughter has one for her store, and the son has one for her store. So they're using the same app. They just log in with the same information to run the ads on their particular beacon. And I think I already know the answer to this, but is anything going to change now? Because now the phone is your kind of beacon.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, will like Susie at her store be able to go in on the app and just create an ad for her particular beacon?
Yes.
Okay, so nothing has really changed in that aspect.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. No, you're good.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No worries.
Thanks, Michael. Hey, Justin, someone's asking, I think this is Tim, how long is Gem ad approval taking?
It's getting better. We're still not where we want to be. We're still, we're still being slowed down by just, having to spend a heck of a lot of time on elevating the quality of the ads that are coming in. So I think it's we're gonna we're going to need another, I don't know, week or so to kind of push through that. Because I think, once people have an ad of a, a certain quality, I think that they're less likely to want to, make it worse. So we're starting to see kind of, the rate of inflow go down. Also because, we still have, I don't know, a couple thousand people that haven't submitted ads at all. So, we're reaching out to them to make sure that they get their ads active. So there is this backlog, there is this quality issue, but it's getting better. Like, for sure, it's faster. I don't have an exact timeline on when we're going to get closer to our goal of a few hours lag. If I had to estimate it, I would say 2 weeks. But we are a heck of a lot faster than we were. I would say we're kind of in the 24, 48 hour range. But obviously we need to improve there.
Thanks, Justin. How often can we change the location?
You can change it as often as you want. You can change it as often as you want. But remember, like, the more you change it, the more it's going to come back to us and be under review for, right now, like a day or so.
Thank you. I think, Greg, you were trying to ask a question. Greg, were you coming on? Go ahead.
One of the things, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Justin. Hi, Cheryl.
Hey.
I'm updating ads, meaning I'm updating the verbiage, putting a new message in, and then I'll get feedback saying that the picture that has already been approved and been working is not the proper size. Any input on that?
Is this just a new thing today?
It just happened while I was on this call. I was updating something, but this is the second or third time it's happened to me.
So as we continue to expand the network, now we need a square image and a landscape one. So that's a new field. So now there's 2 places to submit an image. So if you might have to, if the image that's on file is not compliant, then you might have to reload the image that you have on file with us.
Okay, I'm sorry? The image was already approved, and I didn't do anything to the image. I was just changing the headline.
Look, just do me a favor, load it in again and see if you get that message again. I bet you won't.
Okay, and one last question.
Yep.
Are you guys going to put up some pre-done royalty banners and square ads that we can just stick in there and promote the business?
Yeah, absolutely. Creating, not just for royalty, though we'll probably start there, but creating optimized ads by industry, I think is a huge opportunity for us, right? Like, there's not that many companies that have the ability to, to study the results of, thousands and thousands of different ads in different industries, right? Like, there are obviously some that could do it, right? Like, Google can do it, Facebook can do it. But there's not a lot of, companies our size that have access to the huge amount of data that all of you are generating with the ads that you're running. So I think we're in a very, a very cool position to be able to see what works. Like, oh, this realtor ad worked better than this one, right? Or this royalty ad worked better than that one. To see what works. And then once we understand, how to optimize, to then, give you back those findings in the form of ad templates that you can then use, and then edit, depending on what industry you're in. So
thank you.
In terms of roadmap, our focus is, deploy these virtual gems. We want to get landing pages on desktop. That's a really big priority. We want to get ad creation on desktop. That's another big priority. And starting to create like a library of optimize ad templates, I think will be super helpful.
Cool. Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Carlos. I was trying to tell Carlos to not share the screen. I lost my next questions. So what do we have to do on our phone's app to change to virtual?
Nothing. Just download the new app for Android. The iPhone one's not available yet, but there's nothing that you need to do. It should be totally seamless. Go to Google Play at the moment, not the App Store yet. Google Play, download the new app, and you should see that your gems are now virtual gems and you have access to that location feature.
Thank you. Digital, whoever is the digital who asked to put the stated reasons, I'll make sure to write them down and put them in the group for you guys. I'm still looking through the questions, Justin.
Hey, Justin, it's Paul.
Hey, man.
Paul.
Okay, got a couple of questions. I'm going to machine gun it for you. So just, I know you just answered the question about the time approval for ads. Is that the same for the push out ad at time too? Or is that when we time?
Sorry, run that by me again.
So you know how when you first launched the new network, you said that approval for an ad,
yeah,
was but then when you push the ads out, it's different.
Oh, I see. So you don't see, your status doesn't change when we have internally approved it. Okay. So okay. If it says under review, we may have already approved it internally, right? It'll only flip to approved when it's approved on the network and the ad is actually running.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so cool. there's no sort of like under review, internally approved, externally approved. There's no value to that, right? Like,
okay.
Most of the ads that say under, well, no, I'd say it's a mix, right? Like we get through the partners are faster than we are right now.
Nice.
Okay? Because their job is to only approve what we've already approved, and they've got billions of dollars of technology behind it, so they're better at this, right? We are manually looking at every single ad. We are having to change a lot of them to make them compliant. So there's a whole lot more effort on our side than there is, externally.
Okay, cool. Next question was add-on impressions purchased for like a la carte. Is that coming? What's the ETA for that?
So I'll tell you this. That's an option. We're not going to make that option available.
Okay.
Hold on. Until to anyone who's at less than 5,000 impressions a month. Okay. And here's like, if you're at 2,000 or now, anyone who's at 2,000 is now at 2,500. It doesn't really make a ton of sense to sell you 1,000 more, right? Like, upgrade to the 5,000 impression plan, right? And then we'll make those additional blocks available. Like we talked about it, and we thought, it just kind of doesn't make sense, right?
So
like
you're saying instead of going for the first level, the $47 one, you go for the second one, and then
no. I'm saying if you're a pre-existing customer, because remember, okay, we're not selling 500 or 2,000 impression plans anymore, right? We're honoring them for pre-existing customers, as we always do, right? But we're only selling 5,000 impressions or more. Okay. So if you are at 2,000, like you have you had a BF, right? And you're at 2,000, we bumped you up to 2,500. The next step, if you want to generate more impressions for your business, isn't to buy 1,000 more here and there. It's to upgrade to the 5,000 plan.
Okay.
And it's more affordable anyway.
Makes sense. No problem. All right, great. Details about the analytics. I remember you said that you're updating that process. Are we going to be able to actually not the analytics? Are we? Yeah, analytics. Are we going to be able to actually have more of a detailed plan, like who,
yes,
when?
Definitely all of those things, right?
Okay,
Like
great.
what sites your ads were shown on, and then I think, you know, analytics are important, but targeting is really what matters, right?
I agree.
Because that's what is going, like, analytics tell you about the past, targeting tells you, you know, about the future in terms of being able to, you know, reach the right people and drive more leads for your business, which is, after all, what this is all about, right? Like, this is about building your business, not, you know, that's the value, not just kind of keeping score. So what we want to do is enable, you know, there's a lot more controls that we have access to. In version 1, our goal was to, you know, hit that, you know, December 6th deadline, you know, get a working product in the field with, you know, with solid functionality. But definitely we can provide more detailed analytics, but I think more importantly, more detailed targeting. So I only want my ad to go to women, or I only want my ad to go to this age group, or, you know, I can see that my ad went out on, you know, 100 different websites, and these ones performed better than these ones, right? So I want to be able to customize, and I never want my ad to show on these 10 websites ever again because I don't get any results from it, and I want to focus it more on these. So look, my point is, there's a lot more control that we can expose in versions 2, 3, 4, 5, more than we did in version 1.
Okay, excellent. Next question was, brick, steel, solid items, is it going to really affect where your ad goes, like, is broadcast?
Say that again. Bricks.
Like brick, steel, like any kind of like building.
Oh, no. There's no. Remember, it's not a like. There's no signal, right? Like Bluetooth is device broadcasting a signal, right, out. That's not what is happening now, right? This is
Wi-Fi.
Here's here's my phone's location, right? And, you know, we're capturing that location, and then the ad is just getting sent out to people in, you know, in that vicinity. But it's not like your phone needs to hit other phones anymore, right?
Okay.
As long as we know where the phone is, then that's where we broadcast the ads, which is great, right? Because now we're not obsessed with, like, you know, whether it's raining and, you know, like bricks and steel, like all the things that we spent our whole lives talking about before.
Yeah, so exactly.
Anyone with an internet connection.
Video ads, ETA. I know we're real focused on everything.
I don't have an ETA, and I don't want to, you know, promise something I don't have visibility to.
Okay, and that's it.
Cool. All right, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, Justin. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just did. I sent my ad to New Jersey again. I submitted it. I saw it on the map. It was where I wanted it to be. I tried to get back to my other beacons. It won't let me. So I just went out of the app. I came back to that same ad, and it's back at my location again. No.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Are you seeing the toggle off thing?
Yeah, I'm seeing all that. Maybe I'll just re-upload the app again.
I would.
Let me ask you a question. You just said something. If we change the location, does that have to be approved too, even though the ad's approved?
At the moment, yes. At the moment, yes, but not for long. Like,
so is that why maybe when I change to New Jersey, it hasn't been approved? That's why it's going back?
Maybe. I don't want. It's hard for me to speculate without actually seeing the phone and what's going on.
Justin, can I jump in?
Hey, Greg.
Hey, I just did it on my phone. Okay, and while you guys were talking about it, I noticed that if you don't have both photos in there, it won't let you out of the app. It just, and then if you cancel it, it'll bounce back to the old location. So you got to have the 1200 by 628 and the 1200 by 1200 photos in there. Otherwise, it doesn't complete the process.
What do you mean both photos?
Well, there's two options. You can have a 1200 by 1268 landscape, and then below that there is a 1200 by 1200 image. If you don't have both images in there, it won't let you complete the process. I'm
just noticing that. I didn't realize. So we have to submit 2 images then.
Right. Yeah, I tried it with the one. It wouldn't let me out of the app. It just kept bouncing me back. I canceled it. It bounced back to my old location. So I said, well, I wonder if I got to do the photo. So I put the photo in, and I got the 2 photos in there. It completed the process. It's under review waiting.
Oh, okay. Because I only have 1 image on all of mine. So if I put another image in now, when I put another image in, now I'm going to have to wait again for it to be approved.
Yep.
I'm talking to Justin on that one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning. I have a question that I just received. I set up my ad last night, did my pin, thought everything would be great, but I am in the CBD industry and it's strictly prohibited. So now, does that mean obviously I cannot use this advertising program, or how do I change that?
So we may have we've been rejecting CBD because that's, that's been kind of what we've had to do. But again, we just, I didn't mention it at the beginning, but we had a call. I just finished a call with Google, and it actually may be possible. So we think crypto could be back on the table, and we think CBD could also be back on the table. I can't say that for sure. I need more information. But they told us they very, very recently updated both policies. So they're going to send us the language. And so this is information I got 35 minutes ago.
Okay, thank you. And then how will we know when it's updated?
Oh, we'll let you know. We'll post.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Justin.
Yes.
Hey, this is Eric. How you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey,
Good.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
I had a customer that I had to actually cancel because he actually had e-vaping. So, I mean, that kind of falls in the same category as a CBD, don't it?
Yeah, and again, it falls into the same broad category. I wouldn't say that one necessarily, like if we're able to do one, it doesn't necessarily mean we can do the other.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, e-vaping, I mean, there's no nicotine or any products like that in it. So I mean, and with CBD, of course, would be worse than e-vaping, I would think. But I mean, I'm just saying.
We want to get into that debate right now, right?
But I'm just saying. I mean, if that would pass, I would think the e-vaping would pass as well. Correct?
Well, you're asking me. Look, I don't write these policies, okay? And it is possible that they may take one view of CBD and take a view you don't like of e-vaping. I mean, let me find out. I'm certainly not in a position to say yes to that right now. Obviously.
Right. Okay. Right? And then one other question I had is,
yes.
When is this going to be available on desktop instead of on the actual mobile phones to be, putting the ads and all that?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I know you had talked about doing it early in January. I was just kind of.
I didn't talk about it early in January. I said in January.
Okay, the end of January. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so to me, to the team here, we think that landing pages on desktop is kind of that's a really important,
Sure.
First thing we want to do is get this whole flow just like super smooth, right?
Right.
So submission, review, approval, just kind of like get that really, really flowing.
Okay.
The next chunk is we want to do landing pages on desktop, because so many things that we have planned for 2019 are, you know, are kind of, you know, predicated on just like really, really high quality landing pages. Ad creation on desktop, I would say is, you know, not as important as those first two things, but important, and that's something that I'm hoping that we can do this month. But I you know, the first two things are really like.
I mean, the pricing's great. I mean, I think it's going to be easy sell, you know, to go out there and get the customers. I mean, I did it this morning. You know, I was probably one of the first ones. Probably was out there that did it early in the morning, and I had no problem doing it on the app. I mean, it went through.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? Like it works. I would say like ad creation on the app isn't really a problem.
No.
I think that the landing pages are that's something that needs to be improved, which is why we're prioritizing that.
Right. Well, you guys are doing a great job. Just keep up with the great work.
Thanks, man. Trying.
Not a problem.
Hey, Justin, quick question. Janine's asking, if someone has the old gems and they aren't active, they weren't active, can they reactivate their old gems now, or do they have to go to the VF?
Oh my gosh. You want to reactivate an NF so we can turn it into a VF?
So for the impression, if someone has old gems, do they reactivate those, or do they have to go to the VF gems as a new customer?
You know what? I haven't thought about that. I have to limit. It kind of, I don't know. I don't love that. Right? Like, you had, there was ample opportunity to do that, and truly, I mean, you're not reactivating your physical gem anyway, right? What you're doing is you're activating a virtual one, and so really this is a question about someone wanting to get you like just fewer impressions, right? Like that doesn't seem to me to be in anyone's best interest, including the customer.
I'm with you.
So
my first answer
I'm not gonna like, you know, because this is this is new. I'm not gonna say no, but if this is about, it feels like this is like I want to spend less, but to me it's really important to us, and I would encourage all of you, like when you're thinking about this and talking to customers, you know, there's a reason why we are only selling 5,000 impressions or more going forward, and that's because, you know, if you don't provide, you know, a certain level of impressions, then you know, you want to make sure that the customer is receiving, you know, very, very noticeable, tangible results, right? And you know, at 5,000 impressions, you should be getting, you know, 1 to 2% click rate. So, you know, 50 to 100 clicks a month with a decently performing ad, and that should translate into a meaningful number of new leads, right? And that's what we want. That's what's going to keep that's what's going to keep the customers on board for years. You know, I could sell somebody 50 impressions, but that wouldn't make a big, you know, that wouldn't make a meaningful impact on their business. So, you know, I'm inclined to, you know, to say no, right? Like we're honoring what the plans that we've sold, because that's kind of, you know, we think that that's the right thing to do. But I would also encourage all of our customers to upgrade to the $47 plan for the 5,000 impressions, because that's going to grow your business, you know, that much better. Now, you know, to go from 2,500 impressions to 5,000, you know, you're going to get twice as many clicks, twice as many leads. So it's a small increment, but I think that it will pay off in the form of return on investment.
Thanks, Justin. Hey, Justin, can the phone end pin go from 1,000 meters to 10,000?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I ask one more thing?
And by the way, sorry, the reason why we picked 10,000, because we could have made it, you know, 50,000 if we wanted to, or 100,000. You know, at some point, it ceases to be proximity marketing, right? And so we want to make sure that the focus stays, you know, on you know, the immediate area that you're advertising. We think that the value actually declines if you know, if you make the broadcasting area too big. If people disagree, I mean, it's, you know, it's a relatively easy thing for us to change, but you know, in my opinion, it actually devalues the service. Once it gets too large, you lose that targeting, which is, I think, so valuable.
Justin.
Yeah.
I don't really want to harp on this.
Are we going to keep troubleshooting your?
No. I'm done with that.
Right.
But I think that information we just got is important to tell everybody, because from what I just heard, in order for this platform to work properly, you have to have 2 images.
Yes. Now,
so I didn't know that. And okay,
you can use the same image. You just have to, you know.
But what the gentleman said was that to change the location, it didn't work when he just had 1 image, like it's not working for me, but when he had 2 images, it worked. So my thing is, I have brick and mortar people who are like calling me every day, hey, my ad hasn't been approved yet. And
No. Hey, that has nothing to do with this, right? Like we've got thousands of ads that are continuing, that were approved, that are continuing to run.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, so their ad gets approved, and now I got to tell them, but in order for this to work, you have to submit another image, and now that's got to get approved. Okay, because I just submitted another image, and now it says it's under review again.
Hey, Michael, someone could go for another month. Like, you don't have to touch your ad. It's running, right? Like, if your ad is approved, it's running. There's no urgency here, right? Like, there's no fire.
If I wanted, like I said, I tried to put it in New Jersey, but it won't work because I don't have 2 images.
Yep.
So if a person's trying to put it somewhere, it's
so
not.
Yeah. So look,
go ahead.
So look, we are continuing to use the last known location, right, for all active ads, right? So the only reason to change your ad is if you want to change your ad. If you don't want it, like, and I think generally people are there's people who are changing their ads too many times, and it becomes counterproductive.
No, I'm not talking about changing the ad.
Well, the ad that, so you have a restaurant client, they have an ad that's running, right? That ad is still running right now, okay? Right. The only reason why they would need to, the only reason to change your ad is if you want to change something about it. You want to change the location, you want to change the photo, you want to change the imaging, whatever, right? Or the messaging rather. So if there's no need to, if you don't have like a reason to change it, just leave it and it'll continue to run as it always has.
Yeah, but if they want to put that ad in a different area, it's not going to work because they've only got 1 image.
Well, yeah. So if, like I said, Michael, like I just said, if they want to change their ad, then yeah, they're going to have to
consider changing the ad when you put it in a different area.
Yeah. So when the first time that you do it, they're gonna upload a second photo.
So that's what I need to let them know, is what I'm saying. The very first time you do it, you got to do 2 photos.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, and I didn't know that was a requirement either, but good to know.
Yeah, we need to let everybody know that then.
Okay.
Hey, Justin, I don't think it actually is a requirement across the board right now. I just tested it while you were talking. I have 1 image and I changed my location, no problem.
Ah, interesting.
Never mind. I'm just going to keep playing with it.
Cool.
All right.
Calm down, Michael. Calm down.
Hey, congratulations, Axel. Just
had me sleep.
His ads while we were on here, so just wanted to congratulate him. People are asking, do you need to have GPS on your phone to show your phone location?
Yep. But we'll prompt you for that, right? Like it'll say this app is trying to, needs to access your location, and you just approve it.
Still going through the questions. Sorry, Justin, if anybody needs to hop out and ask. I think Miles wants to ask. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, so I wanted to know, I put an ad up, it didn't get approved. And I believe it didn't get approved because my website provides financial services. So like we do like W-4 corrections to help people get their right tax withholdings. I was just wondering, and it's a MLS, it's a multi-level marketing system as well. Are they not allowed as far as advertisement?
They are allowed. So is this my econ?
Yes.
Okay. So look, the problem is not the service that you're providing, but and I'm not saying you because I don't have your ad memorized, right? But what I've seen from my econ and other websites is the page that is being linked to overemphasizes the income opportunity of the company, not the products of the company. So if I can't give you specific advice because I don't have your ad in front of me, but if I could give more general feedback, we're never going to be allowed to promote income opportunities, right? Like, anything that talks about, you can make this much money and financial independence and blah, 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 like all that stuff, the advertising network takes a hard line on. And I think that, there's some pretty good reasons for that, which we can talk about, separately. But as long as, look, I would recommend use a landing page, right? And talk about the products. Even if they're financial products, that's fine, right? Like we've got a million financial advisors who offer financial services. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when we cross the line from financial product into financial opportunity, right? That's where we have to have like a bright red line, because that's something that can, is strictly enforced. So if you have a problem with any page being rejected, to pick on my econ for a second, often the pages that people are submitting are very, the income opportunity is too prevalent. So focus on the products that you provide, and there's nothing inherently wrong. Like we've also approved tons of my econ ads that focus on the product, not the opportunity. Okay. Miles, you're on mute. That cool?
Hey, Justin, so I had one more question, and Jeff's a buddy of mine. Sorry, Jeff. But the second question is, when I did it didn't get approved. So then I put in, we have just a page, on my website that does credit correction. And there was no like financial opportunities for that. It was, you get credit repair for $100, and that also did not get approved. And I was just surprised that it wasn't approved. That's
yeah. There's nothing wrong. Again, there's nothing wrong with credit repair. I mean, look, if you want me to look, I'll look at it. Send it to Justin@royaltie.com. Okay. All just send me the link or whatever, and then I'll take a look. And if like we're being really careful, and I think it may be through just abundance of caution that we may have rejected something that could be compliant. But I can also, if you just send it to me and I'll look at it and I'll give you my feedback on it.
Sounds good, Justin. Thank you.
All right, man.
Hey, Dan has his hand raised. Is there a Dan Hill? Did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I'm here. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Hey, Justin. Once you got your PIN in the location, do you have to leave your phone on all the time? Because does it work through your phone?
No.
Okay.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it's impossible to lose a virtual gem, right? Because even if you lose your phone or your phone runs out of batteries, right? Like we've captured that location. It's in our servers, and then we push that through to our advertising network. So no, your phone does not need to be on. Good question.
Awesome, thank you.
Justin, from Michelle, she says, so say for Super Bowl month, can you upgrade to 50,000, but maybe next month I only want 10,000? Is that?
Of course, yeah, of course. And and I didn't mention this at the beginning, but we do not require from new customers first and last month payment anymore. which is a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to remind everybody that we're only capturing account activation for $30 and first month subscription. So as long as you provide us with notice before your billing date that you want to upgrade or downgrade your plan, that's totally fine.
Thank you. I think Tracy has her hand raised. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Cheryl. The question I just received from one of my new members is back to the CBD. Sorry, you're talking about promoting, say, not the to avoid, okay. So how do I say this? So if they want to promote health and better lifestyle and whatever for them, they're getting away from using CBD, but then their website is back to their MLM where they can purchase CBD. And now one of them wants out because then he said it's back to Facebook rules. Now, what do I do with that? How does he get his payment back? He's really upset.
Sorry, what's the question?
Okay, so we can't advertise CBD products. So I know there's always ways around that, but then adding his website brings you back to the CBD product. So then that's not going to be approved. So now,
hey, Tracy, let me just, I was promised, because this is a brand new policy that we were just made aware of from Google. So they promised that they would send over, because this isn't on, like, you can't, there's nothing about this online yet. They promised that they would send me over the cannabis policy and the crypto policy that have just kind of come into effect. So let me look at that, okay? Because we may not have a problem after all.
Okay.
Okay. So just bear with me. Hopefully I get it today, and then if so, we'll be able to make an announcement about it.
Okay.
I think DePaul wants to go ahead. DePaul.
Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, I'm playing with the app. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's about to blow my freaking mind. I changed the radius to 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's covered my whole town. So is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Holy shit. All right, thank you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why we kind of capped it at 10 kilometers, because I mean, I don't know what city you live in, but I'm in Toronto, which is, a pretty big city, like 5 million people or something like that. And a 10 kilometer radius covers like the whole city, basically, like the whole downtown anyway. So at some point, we want to stay true to the fact that this is meant to be targeted proximity marketing. So that's why we actually limited it to 10K, because that's a lot, right? Like that's, 10 kilometers in either direction. That's 20 kilometers, right? That's what is that for you, you Yankees? What is that? 13, 14 miles, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
10 kilometers, 6.7 miles.
Yeah, so there you go. So a 20 kilometer kind of like, what is that, diameter, right? That's like 13, 14 miles, which is like a lot.
The price doesn't change when you change your...
No.
That's awesome.
Justin, I have an interesting question.
You always do, my friend.
Anyway, this is fantastic. You blew my mind the other day with this.
Thanks, man.
When you were acting like a Cheshire cat for the last couple of weeks, I knew there was something coming, but I could have not imagined this. This is incredible.
Cool.
When somebody has a good performing ad and it gets referred a lot, is that going to, and they send it to the same website, will that affect the Google analytical searches, the organic searches, if somebody just is searching their particular company?
Yeah, I think so. That is an interesting question, and sure, like there's things that will that we're going to start to offer that will have the nice byproduct of raising your your search engine ranking, right? So more traffic. Okay, not just from the proximity marketing, but from the retargeting service that we're going to offer. But in addition to that, I think I think one of the coolest things about the content marketing service that we're going to launch later this year is, if you just to refresh everybody's memory or help if you haven't heard about this, it's awesome. Basically, we're going to allow you to kind of take your landing page, and we're going to add, like a blog page to the landing page, and there we will every day populate a proven, popular, highly clicked, highly shared article about whatever industry you're in, right? And that article will also be automatically shared onto your various social media accounts, like your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your whatever. All of that to drive traffic back to your landing page. But the more traffic it drives and the more content that gets posted, all of that serves to organically raise your search engine rankings. So that we're thinking about it, right? Like we're thinking about how can we not only provide the proximity marketing, but through our other services, how can we also raise the relevance and search engine optimization of your page? So that's on our mind as well, and we haven't talked about that at all. But as always, you come through with the good questions.
All right, one other real quick question, because something you brought up yesterday, when you were explaining it in the video on the map, and you mentioned New Year's Eve in Times Square. Yeah. What happens if 10,000 people drop their pin on Times Square?
Hey, let's have that problem next year.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, thanks. Great job.
Thanks, man.
It'll be a problem at Super Bowl.
I'm sorry?
It's going to be that problem at Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though iPhones don't have the app yet, will their beacons still act like VFs?
Well, so they will when you get the app, which is like a day or two. I mean, we said January 10th to be safe, and we released the Android app last night. So the app, and I don't know, like how much you guys, the app review process, like Android is like fast, usually a matter of like, 12 hours or so. Apple is more like 24 to 48 hours. So both apps were submitted. It happened that Android got approved really quickly. So we said, let's just release it. That's cool. That's fine. And because we're still way ahead of the date we promised, which was January 10th. And hopefully I'll get some good news, I hope today, and we'll be able to push the iPhone app live as well. But remember, right? Like this is all kind of like, bonus stuff. Like the ad that was approved already is running just fine right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
And any restriction on language use in ad, if the wording and picture is all not, we can't have words in the picture, but any restriction on language use in ad, you mean like span it different?
No, any language is fine. No, just it's what we're really looking for is what the message actually says, right? So you're not saying something that you can't say, like, here's a way to get rich overnight, right? Like that kind of thing we're going to filter out and reject. Look, bad spelling, bad grammar, that's not that actually gets picked up and rejected by the ad partners. If you don't write anything in all caps, right? Your ad will get rejected as well, except for by, if you want to write in all caps, Craigslist is a great option. But on, Facebook and Google ads, they don't accept all caps. Yeah, that's the main stuff. So any language you want, but we're going to be, what we care about is, the content of the message and, grammar and spelling and capitalization, that kind of like more stylistic things. No, we lost Cheryl. That's cool.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm
you're here.
In the chat. Does anybody else say? I think we're down to the bottom of the questions here.
I have a quick one for you guys. Just a random question. Would I be able to use my YouTube channel as a URL, or no? That's not allowed.
Yeah, YouTube. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got lots of people linking to YouTube, and I think what's also cool is we've got ads now showing, like your ads are actually now showing up on YouTube, which is, I know, something that many of you were keen on, that we're super excited about. And, for us, that kind of, points the way towards eventually, video ads and things like that.
Hey, Justin. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Justin.
Angela.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
I'm awesome.
I have a question. You might have had already answered this, but with the new gem that we are receiving, I know the one I have right now, I cannot promote more than one thing, but on the new one, can I promote more than one company?
No, it's still kind of like one ad running from one gem. Virtual doesn't really make a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Justin.
Hello.
Joanne?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
And thank you for the gentleman for letting me go first. I put a question in the chat. You said earlier something about re-downloading Google. Is that Google Play and movies and TV? That's number one. My ad was approved, and it shows under my ad, the caption, it shows, I guess, two boxes. One says 2,989 and another box says 32. I guess that's the number of people. And then you said we would need
2,000 is the number of people that have seen your ad, and the 32 is the number of clicks that you've had. So that's pretty good. That's like a 1.5% click rate. That's very solid.
Yeah, I think so. I'm happy about that. But what I want to know, you said that we needed to be better if we upgraded to the $47 plan.
Well, you'll get more impressions. That's all I'm saying, right? So, if you had 5,000 impressions, then instead of 32 clicks, like if you're getting like 1.5%, which is very good, at 5,000 impressions at 1.5%, you'd be getting 75 clicks instead of 30, right? And so, how many of those turn into, leads or, capturing email addresses? Like, that's a question for you in terms of, how much do you want to invest in lead generation to produce the number of leads that you need to grow your business? That's
okay. Perfect. So does that mean when I'm looking at my ad, like right now, I can see my picture, but I can't really see the full ad. Is there some way to click on it where you see the full ad?
Yeah, it's a good point. And of course, giving you the ability to see like a true preview of what your ad actually looks like, and also what it looks like on the different platforms. So here's what your ad looks like on Facebook, and here's what your ad looks like on YouTube, right? Like this is all stuff that we're keen on doing, not in version 1, because we were under a great deal of time pressure to get a working product released because of the shutdown of the old Google Nearby platform. But all of these things are front and center in our mind. And for us, it's a question of, okay, we have, this much resource every month to put towards software development. How do we prioritize all of these great ideas?
Just one more question. So do I need to download something else?
So you're going to want to download the new version of the app. So you go to your app store, like the Google Play Store, and you search for the Upline app, and it'll say update or some kind of language like that, and you'll get the new version, and you'll see your virtual gems. You'll see the location, like the map capability, all that will be there for you.
Oh, I see the Upline app. Okay.
And it sounds like you're an Android user, because I was just going to remind everyone, it's not on iPhone yet. It's under review. Hopefully any any minute I'll get the thumbs up.
Well, thank you so much. I'm thrilled just to know we've gotten this far. Thank you so very much.
All right, John, thank you. Have a good day.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just a quickie. How you doing, guys?
Hey.
I guess in the big picture thought of this and how to use it, I was hearing the Super Bowl mentioned a lot. I would think the advantage would be to not necessarily use this during the Super Bowl itself, but the days leading up to it around the hotels and all that, because you want a number. People aren't going to be looking at these at the Super Bowl, right? They're going to be in that town for X amount of time, so you want to be near the hotels and the things they're going to be doing over the series of days leading up to it, right? So in the big picture, that's how you want to use this, correct?
Yeah, I would say so. And I think this whole kind of like Super Bowl talk is more like, it's more of like a metaphor, right? It's more kind of like, look at all the cool things I can do now. But if I were, if I owned a restaurant in, Toledo, Ohio, I would probably advertise, even on Super Bowl Sunday, I'd still advertise around my restaurant, right? Like that's the thing that's going to help my business the most, right? But it's a super cool idea. Like, I think it's a great idea to talk about and imagine, ways to use this technology in ways that we couldn't do it before with a physical beacon, right? Because there's a lot of, really, really exciting things that are going to happen. And the Super Bowl is cool, but like, to me, being able to, get a list of all of the industry conventions. Where are all of the industry conventions in the world this year for your industry, right? And that's where I want to be advertising, because that's where all the people from my industry, they're all going to be there. So I'm going to be able to target them, in a better way than any other time of year, right? Like I think that, like, conventions and I think sporting events are going to be huge, right? For the right type of advertiser, right?
Right. Yeah. In the days leading up to it too, is what really counts.
Yeah, if I'm a bar and I'm, 6 blocks from the stadium, right? It would make sense to advertise at the stadium during the game. Like, I think that makes total sense, right? But there's I think my point is that we want to start, expanding our view of how to use proximity marketing than what we were limited to in the past.
All right, can I address something?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not actually me and my son's the one who came up with that concept. So let me address that.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
All right, so let's dumb it down. Let's bring it down a little bit, and let's not overcomplicate this, because I'm seeing some of these questions and stuff, and it's kind of like you guys are a little bit overcomplicating this. Let's bring it down to this common denominator. Look, your geofence and your phone's the beacon, pretty much. Okay. When I said the Super Bowl, it's because when you do advertising, you want to play into people's psyche. You want to be talking to their psyche. That right there. Did you see how many comments that came on that post that I put up? Because eventually, right away, people are saying, "Whoa, wait a minute. How are you able to advertise the Super Bowl?" Of course, it'll be better to advertise to the whole town and the hotels and all that. But is that as attractive? If I said we can advertise to all the hotels in town, it's not really attractive. So to say you can advertise during the Super Bowl, that's not the only one. We got other ones coming up. Watch when the music awards come. How would you like to be at the music awards? Right. When All-Star game come, All-Star weekend, where you think I'm going to be at? You see what I'm saying? These are the things that's going to get people attractive and like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And as long as you can get someone to ask you a question, what are you talking about? At that point, you can tell them, oh, well, we got this new blah, 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 blah. So that was the method behind that. But don't overthink it to the point where you're like saying like, hey, just do it like this. Like say, well, advertise at the Super Bowl, Yeah, it's definitely bigger than that. But like Justin said, think outside of what we already been doing. It's so much bigger than the old things. That's why we all need to get away from the old model and the old concept. Talking about the old gems and the way it used to work is like bringing up an iPod right now. Be like, man, but I would just love to have that iPod though. For what? The phone, the music's in your phone. Why do you need an iPod for? But it just looks so great though. I was able to get through it fast. I was able to swipe and I just had music. It was no phone. And okay, that's fine. But We've upgraded. We've scaled it up. So
oh no, I wouldn't even say iPod. I would say like the Discman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I got the Walkman. I got my Walkman. Why? You know what I mean? Like, no, we've elevated.
Yeah,
you know? But the only reason why I used the iPod was because when Apple did away with the iPod, it was actually still flourishing. It was actually still doing good. People still had them, you know, and they made the decision like, you know, it's like, yeah, we can still keep them, and the person can buy an iPod and a phone, but why? Just merge the two, you know, and eventually we adapted to it. So that's where we're at right now. So I think 2019, we all need to focus on what we have now and not worry about before, like, oh, I was able to do this and I was able to do that. Don't matter, because if anybody's paying attention, the analytics that's already came back in just the 1 month that we've been up already surpassed what we've done with the old gems. We got people that got sales. My girlfriend got her first sale, you know, last week. I had a call back last week. Someone called me saying, hey, I just saw your ad on Facebook. You know, I wasn't advertising on Facebook at the time, so it had to be my gym. We had 2 other people that had calls, and people have gotten sales. It's only a month in. And that was before Justin gave you guys 5,000 impressions. Think about that also. So some people was getting results off of just the 500 impressions and 1,000 impressions they had. What's going to happen now when everybody has 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 impressions? It's very far-fetched that a business is not going to get some results with that many impressions, because at the end of the game, sales is a numbers game. So we know that we can get in front of enough eyeballs, it's going to convert, and it's already been proven.
Yeah.
That's my part.
Thanks, buddy. As always.
Hi, Justin. One more quick question about impressions.
Yeah.
I've had some people ask me, and I'm not exactly sure how to explain it. If they get 5,000 impressions and they're in a large area, how quickly are those going to be disseminated? Are you guys doing, you know, dividing it by 30 and just doing it so much per month, a day, you know, just something to explain to them that makes sense.
Look, generally speaking, we want to deliver the impressions like smoothly over the course of the month, right? Like we could just blow it out on the first day and, you know,
absolutely,
spend the entire budget and then, you know, but I don't think that's what people want. I think they want, you know, their impressions to be delivered in a, you know, a more, you know, smoother, more consistent, you know, daily way. So that's what we're going to, like, our goal last month was, okay, we just launched this thing. Let's make sure we, you know, we deliver all the impressions and, you know, they didn't come in a consistent way. And we got a lot of people being like, well, how come I got all, you know, all of my impressions for the month during this, you know, 7-day period or this, whatever.
So you're basically going to meter it.
I'm sorry?
You're basically going to meter it?
Yeah, of course. Okay. And so
that's what I need.
So we're going to deliver them much more consistently this month. But then what we're also going to introduce soon is the idea of like boosts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my 5,000 impressions that are being delivered, you know, relatively consistently over the course of the month, but there is this big thing this weekend, and I want to hit, you know, an extra 5,000 people in this 48-hour window because there's this big convention, right?
Okay.
So we're going to facilitate the, you know, that boost capability as well. So consistency with planned boosts whenever, you know, as desired by the customer. That's the goal. We're not there, but like,
is there going to be a way to say when you're metering, let's just say you're going to meter 200 a day on an average, and the ad is so good that it gets 1,000 shares in one day. Is that going to reflect on?
No.
Okay.
So we only show paid like advertising impressions.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Cool.
If someone shares your you know, sees your ad on Facebook and then they like it or they share it and it goes out to their friends, that's all bonus. We don't even see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are paid impressions. And
I got you.
And but the thing is, the way all these advertising, you know, partners work, they all have their algorithms where if you know, they view ads as part of the content that they're delivering, right? So a better, more interesting, more popular, more clicked ad will be shown more for the same amount of money, right, than a lousy, unpopular ad. So look, we had thousands, literally like thousands and thousands of customers that got more than their allotted number of impressions last month. And those in general were people who had more professional, better performing ads.
Okay. Yeah, because most advertisers, and I've done a lot of print media advertising, they advertise these coupon books and it goes out on one day, bam, 25,000 people, and they get an influx for business for 7 days, and then it's dead for 3 weeks.
Right.
So
we don't think that helps, that we don't think that's optimal for the business owner either, right? Like that's why we think delivering the impressions more smoothly makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, I think Tim Owens had his hand up for a while. Tim or Dave? I know that we're
I'm here. Unmute my phone. So no, I'm just trying to figure out with this 2 pictures. So I can't have a picture of my logo for my business and my slogan underneath. Is there no writing on these banner ads? I mean, I don't know how many people just click on a picture of something.
Yeah, logos don't perform very well.
But are you
like you're getting
writing? I mean, you just I'm kind of confused on what we're advertising then.
I'm sorry?
I'm just trying to figure out how we're advertising if we can't have like our logo of our business and
So,
our slogan underneath.
Look, the most successful ads are ones that use the image to convey something about the value that you're bringing the customer, right? Like imagine like a restaurant logo versus like a picture of the restaurant or the food that they serve, right? I can tell you for sure which ad is going to perform better. So, a picture says 1,000 words. Like that's the kind of, the cliche. A logo says like 1. Ads with powerful images will perform better, and they will be shown more frequently than a logo ad.
Okay, I guess I've got to think of pictures to represent because I own several businesses. So I'm used to putting my logo and then my slogan underneath when I add.
Yeah, you're going to get better results if you go. I mean, just go into Google Images, like truly, and just search, and I'm sure you'll be inspired.
Okay, all right, thank you.
No problem, Tim.
Hey, I think Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, I just wanted to touch base with everybody and I know Kwan's a big believer in thinking outside the box, and I'm thinking of this from a marketing aspect of you could become the professional here and show people how to make their ads work. You could be that person. And so I guess I'm wondering if a business wanted to kind of white label this and sell it as, sell it to customers as a, say for instance, I'm in a magazine business and I want to sell it as a service to my advertisers. Is that possible?
Yeah, so we have a whole white label opportunity with special volume-based pricing and customer support, and like all of that exists. And we've got we've done what 60, 70 white label partnerships since we launched that. It was basically this time last year we started doing white labels. The virtual gem, this now is way better for white labeling, by the way.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes. No, I mean, we've had since we announced this, we've had a half dozen inquiries just in less than 24 hours. So I think people are going to really take advantage of white labeling, especially, advertising firms like you mentioned, right? Like
exactly.
Online, offline advertising firms, this is a really, really, great value add service for their existing client base. And also, because it's all virtual, we had certain minimum thresholds to be a white label partner. We've reduced those because now it's so much easier to get a new white label partner up and running. So I'm not going to share all that right now, but if you're interested, just reach out to Linda at royaltie.com, LYNDA at royaltie.com, and she can help you out. For sure.
Thanks, Justin. And then, like I said, I just want to emphasize to the people that are selling these gems to other businesses is we have to take that initiative to show people how to produce good ads. And I think that you'll end up with a lot fewer customers who were infuriated that they're not getting the results they want or confused about the whole process. So that's up to us to help with that.
Well, and one thing I'll add to that comment, David, is I think one of the coolest things about having virtual gems now, and Cheryl pointed this out to me, is the fact that you can now get a new customer up and running right away. Like, there's no waiting a week for the gems to arrive and then activating them, and all of that goes away. So an order gets placed right now that they can log into desktop, they can log into the app, that their virtual gem is right there waiting for them. You can create the landing page, you can create the ad right on the spot. So you can kind of take a customer from, like someone who's not a customer, all the way to having their landing page and ad produced in 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, there aren't many agencies that can tout that.
Totally. So
all right, thanks, Justin.
Anyway, I think that is a huge advantage for the people who are promoting this, is being able to actually get the customer up and running on the spot.